everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't worry, so am I. My name is B, and this is the part 2 to my van conversion on my 1979 Chevy G10 cargo van. And so yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so now I'm working on the weather stripping. I know. Still doing the bouncing around. It's still happening. This is the old weather stripping. I know, disgusting. So I bought some more online. I actually bought adhesive for the trim, but it doesn't need it because there's tiny little clips that go all the way around the door frames that it just clicks right into. So I'm going to start sticking those in around the rear doors, and then we'll move to the sliding doors, and then we'll move to the front doors. I'm super stoked. Let's take a moment to appreciate the fact that I actually installed my subfloor. I did it. Yes, I drilled in all these pieces like a puzzle. It does look a little janky, but when I caulk up the cracks so nothing can seep through, and then I put the vinyl flooring on top, nothing's gonna matter. I can't tell you what kind of flooring I got because I dumpster dived at a flooring center to get it. It was free. It's a mixture of things. We'll get to that. I'll show you later. I think for today I'll finish out with finishing my front doors weather strip, trim stuff, and then yeah. And not that it's like super important or even remotely anything to do with the van. I finally found out how to make the perfect chai. It's like I make one every morning and every afternoon now. Not even, sometimes at night. But like, I just wanted to share that because I'm drinking one. Our subfloor is installed. I have sketched out what I'm going to be doing for my wheel well boxes. I don't know if this is going to make sense to anybody else. I want to make them the shape of the wheel wells, so I believe that's a trapezoid. Instead of just making a box, that way I can utilize like every bit of inch that I can. So I did some measurements. I'm going to cut up some furring strips and then attach them to pieces of plywood that match the surface area, and hopefully it turns out how I want. I don't know how much of this process I'm going to actually film because I've never attempted anything like this before, so alright, I would try to explain exactly what I did here to make this frame, but if I'm being honest, I just like eyeballed everything, and yeah, I think that we're done with the van build for today. So I'm just gonna take my little sausage son on a walk. Come here, come here. Come say hi. Hi, say hi. Yeah. Hi, I'm Toad. Alright, come on, let's keep going. Let's go. Alright, so I know I said I was done for the night, but I came back and just had the thought to put my ceiling on. So I came home and I did it. I started to film the process, and then I realized this is a two-person job. This is not a you job. You need help. So I went and I grabbed my older brother and asked if he would hold this up while I tried to drill these in, and I was also struggling with the drill, so I used a screwdriver to put all these screws in. But this is actually the original piece of plywood used for the ceiling when I first got the van. I took it down and it was actually in such good condition still that I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna reuse it, because why would I go out and buy this when I could just literally use the same piece that's already cut and everything. I also finished the framework for my Wilwell boxes. So beautiful. For someone who's never really done any woodworking or carpentry, like, look at that. That is just chef's kiss right there. Everything is just coming together. So now that the ceiling's on, I can actually, whenever I decide to do it, I can put in my fan. And I know that's like every van lifer's dread when they do the van build, like, I have to cut a hole in my ceiling. And yeah, I'm one of them. I am dreading it, but we're gonna do it. All right, we are crammed into the van right now because I was gonna pull out my tripod. I was gonna be like, look at this cute monochromatic yellow outfit, but let's just got my raincoat on just in case, because I knew it started to rain, snow, slush stuff again. I've been working on like my decor for the van. I haven't mentioned building cabinets, and that's because I'm not building cabinets. When I first got the van, I went thrifting like I always do, and I found this really cool old entertainment center that worked out like perfect for a little kitchenette. So I, sanded that down, restained it, installed my sink on it, and then I was up here in Utah when I first got here, and I went to the thrift store, and I found another piece of perfect furniture. So I've been sanding that down, restaining that, lining the inside of it with some super cute fabric, and just working like on staining my walls, because I'm just using plywood for the walls. I'm not a professional, as we've seen, but I am doing everything myself, DIY clean, and it's coming along. It's great. So last night I actually spent like a couple of hours sewing up my curtains that I had gotten from a Goodwill like a while back. I haven't told you the theme of the van. I know that everyone's like always like, oh, I'm going for like a rustic cabin look, or I'm going for like a sleek all white on white. I am not going to reveal the design yet. I'm sure when I install my roof fan, you'll understand where this is going. But for me personally, everything that I like will be in here. So it's going to be a little bit of everything, but there will be like one theme that's kind of carried out throughout. So I have this giant sheet of what I'm going to guess is vinyl flooring. It might be plywood. I actually don't know what it is. It came in the van when I first got it. Here. So it looks like wood planks. It's super cute. Why would I not use this? Why would I not use it? So I'm going to put this in the back of the van where the garage is going to go, just because it's one big sheet and that'll be simple. And then for the front part, I will use the dumpster dive material, which you'll see, which kind of matches, but I'm okay with not everything matching. You will understand why. Like, it will all make sense. Okay? All right. I'll see you out there. Like a glove. You hear me? Like a glove. Look how beautiful it is. There was a van lifer, I'll double check, but I believe it was Jasmine Dukes. I'll link her channel below. I will actually link everyone's channel below that I used for either inspiration, motivation, or just ideas in general for the van. But she was saying that once you install your subfloor, you're like, wow, this is it. Like, it's actually coming together. And I feel that so hard. Like, the floor, not even all the floor, half the floor is on right now. And I'm like, wow, I'm actually getting somewhere. So for the little corner cuts on this floor piece, I actually used the frame of my wheel well boxes that I have yet to complete still to measure out like where the cuts needed to be. So yeah, use those and it turned out perfect. So we're starting on flooring today. It's actually really nice and sunny out, but unfortunately I'm parked in the shade, so the wind's a little chilly, but I'm not going to change this time. So I picked out probably 4 or 5 types of flooring from that dumpster that I dove into, and I think the one I'm going to go with is the peel and stick, because these ones are about the same width, thickness as my sheet that I put in the back of the van for the garage, and these ones are thicker. So I have less of these, and I laid them all out, and they're really not going to fit together. Also, the other kinds, they're not all the same kind, obviously. This is what happens when you go dumpster diving. But regardless, it was free, and I stand by my decision. So let's get it. Floor is about 2/3 of the way done. Just have this little section right here left. And look who came to sunbathe with me. Say hi. Okay, so I didn't film this, but I cut out my first wall, finished my wheel well boxes. Yes, they're definitely janky, but I'm going to cover them up in some carpet, so those gaps won't matter. And I have yet to put in the insulation. But I used the template from the old walls to make my new ones. I think I have enough sunlight to do the other wall. We'll see how it goes. And then I'll insulate the wheel well boxes, and I think tomorrow I'll get to carpeting them. Tonight I might stain this wall that I just showed you. I probably won't record that, just you know what staining looks like. And yeah, I think I'll be done for the day after that. So today I am finishing up the wall panels. I just cut this last piece out on the left side. I haven't drilled it in yet, but I'll get to that. My friend Emily came over yesterday and helped me again with the walls. She was the one that helped me with the support beams in the first part of the van build video. Probably wondering why I've only stained halfway up the wall, and that's because I'm going to incorporate that really groovy red shag rug that was in the original build when I bought the van on the top half of the walls. So it didn't make any sense to stain all the way up if I'm just going to cover it. I'm working on finishing the wheel well boxes off with some red fabric that I thrifted yesterday for $1. And I'm going to work on putting the vertical support beams for my bed frame that are going right on top of those on either side. And then on top of that will be the 3 horizontal support beams, and then on top of that will be the Ikea bed slats that I bought just for a really solid based bed frame. Because the last bed that was in here was like, I honestly don't even think it was 1/4-inch plywood. It was like the thinnest pieces of plywood ever, and they were all like warped, and they were just like nailed together in some spots. In some spots they were literally just laid down. There was nothing holding them in place. So not the most comfortable or supportive bed. Therefore, I'm spending a lot of time making this comfortable and supportive. On the left side of the van, there is a gas tank. That's where my gas tank is. And I needed to support the bed frame all the way across that, but obviously I can't cut through that. So I made this little doohickey. So this will be the portion that is extending that support bar, and then I'll just hinge that to the floor and bing bada boom. Okay, so you'll see everything coming together. Let's get to it. So I went to Ikea and I bought slats. I reused 3 of the bed beams from the previous build for these, horizontal support bars. Wheel well boxes are done, and I just have to drill it all together. Okay, so you just saw me reinforcing the support beams. I also laid down the slats. Unfortunately, I can't screw them in today and secure them because I didn't go out and buy smaller screws. So I think I'm done for the day. So essentially what I'm doing right now is laying out the previous door panels for the back doors on one of the old walls. There's enough to salvage from it that I can cut out new door panels. Alright, so I've paneled both back doors. I think right now I'm actually going to cut into the roof for my fan. Yeah, I'm gonna put my drill bits in and start filming, and hopefully it goes how I want. Alright, I know it's dark and you can't really see, but I'm gonna lap seal this bad boy up and then install the flange on the inside. That's what Justice is working on. And then the fan install is done. Today I'm working on making middle posts for the bed because I've had a few people tell me that it doesn't look secure enough. So right here on the middle part, I'm going to have 3 posts going against these support beams and then being stabilized by the floor. So I'm using my last pallet and I'm just going to cut the thicker sides out and even them out and make them posts. So this is my workspace right now. It's a little hectic, but that's life. So I'm currently working on some decorative touches for the van, also working on some constructive projects. I've learned that the hardest thing so far is the cab, like trying to put the ceiling on the cab, because I have the previous ceiling cut out, but it doesn't quite fit. And I think it's really hard to do on my own, so I might have to have someone come like hold it up for me while I like actually take the measurements for it and everything. It's just because someone added in that sunroof after buying the van, the previous owners, and that's a whole other issue on its own. Like, I love the sunroof. I'm always here for a sunroof moment, but it's the cutout is bigger than the actual sunroof, so there was some leaks when I first got it. I'm pretty sure I fixed it, patched it all up now, but we'll see. So I finally put my kitchen cabinet in. I had my little brother help load it in here. I'll be attaching the trim later today for the step. It's gonna go right next to the bed. I know, look at my little captain's wheel. If you noticed when I put the roof fan on, the theme is like pirates, because I just own a lot of pirate stuff and I live my life like a pirate, so there's the revealed theme. So the walls are done, the back doors are done, the roof fan is put in. Right now I'm working on putting an extension right here. I'm also putting a latch on this front cabinet door just so they don't fly open while I'm driving. That rope on the wheel actually keeps that little slide out secure, so that's good. Put the legs on the bed so that is secure. Just a couple of updates of what I'm doing here. I should be done in the next couple of days, so stay tuned. Next up, we'll be attempting the partition. That will not go all the way up to the ceiling, but will also serve as a side table if I want one. So, as I've been building today, I've come to a conclusion. If you know me, if you know anything about me, if you've watched my previous videos, you can probably draw the conclusion, or I'll draw it for you, that I'm a very disorganized, organized person. That has been this entire build, that has been my entire life. So, because of that, and because I'm a little hypomanic, I decided to cut the video right here, and this is what I'm going to upload to you. So this is the end of my van conversion part 2 on my 1979 Chevy G10 cargo van. And the reason for that is everything structurally is sound in here. Everything that needed to be put in is done. Fan, bed, partition, kitchen, wall, ceiling, insulation, all of that is done. So that means that basically the build itself is done. Everything from here on out will be aesthetics and design, which are not pertinent to the build, but are important to me. So if you would like to see the final product, come back in a few weeks to like a month and look at my official van tour video. This Saturday I will be leaving Ochei and I'll be making my way back down to Southern California, Los Angeles specifically, because that is my home base and that's where my job is. Unlike a lot of other van lifers, I don't have a full-time remote job that allows me to be out on the road at all times. That would be really nice, but I'm okay to keep my job and travel when I can because I have really good benefits and can take the time off work to do that. I would just really like to keep my job in these uncertain times because of the raging of the pandemic and just how the economy has been going recently. I don't want to take any chances and just quit and say, fuck it, let's do full-time van life. Because I don't know about that. What would be really cool is if my secondhand clothing business took off and allowed me to do that. But as of right now, it does what it does and I do what I do and I'm okay with that. Thank you so much if you made it this far in the video. Thank you for watching all of my mishaps, mistakes, victories, yada yada yada. If you like this video, give me some of these. If you dislike the video, give me some of those. It's up to you. How did the video make you feel? If you're really into it, leave me some words, sentences, comments, questions, concerns, criticisms, down in the comments section because I do read all of them. It's not like I have anything better to do. If you like me, if you like what I'm doing, if you really want to keep up with me and see what I have going on in life, hit the big red subscribe button down below and stick around. Want to say bye? Alright, so this is Bee and Toad from Teeny Tiny Living inside of our van, El Diablita, and we'll be seeing you next time.